Alright, here's a short video on how to set up KACSV Reader 1002. In this, we're going to bring in some Excel Moon data and plot it on the screen. So if you go to Indicator, you'll want to come down after you've imported your script into Ninja. You want to come down here to this KACSV Reader 1002. Some of them will have an extension on it, a couple digits, but click on that, click Add. When it comes up, you'll come up like this. This will not say Excel Moon, so I go ahead and just put Excel Moon in here. Then I want to load this file path, which right now is a little short. Let me see if I can get this over here a little bit enough to see this. The file path right now on the new one is going to be 2021, 2022. Let's see if I can run this on over here. Okay, it's going to look like that. excelmoon.csv. Okay. Here's just the typical settings I use. I use these settings down here in the lines, and then for the plot, I set up the plot as value 1 is black. I use 1 pixel, and value 2 I use the blue. Value 3 I use the green 3. These are both 3. After I get that set up, I want to save this right here, and then I just save it as in this one it's saved as the default. Sometimes I just type in a new save as and save it as something different like Excel Moon or something like that. Okay, now after that I hit OK. It does take a few seconds for this to load up, but when you get done you should have something that looks like this here. Now I'll go over this just a little bit and show you how I use it. For instance, like this is today, January 4th. I look at two different things. You actually have 3 different indicators going on at the same time. This black line, the blue line, and the green line. And one thing is I try to get an overall view of what it's doing. Like the blue's up here right now, and it's going to fall down to here. And this is, no matter how far you plot this into the future, you can always see where the blue and the green's going to go. Like right here, it's going to do the same thing. You're going to be way up in here at one time. It's going to fall down into here. Same thing with the green. The green is kind of going the opposite direction. Here was its bottom, and it's trying to step its way up as I'll stretch this out just a hair and go up. Okay, the black line is the one that really times everything to the minute. If you go back here at 9:30, and you can look here at different plots, like this one right here at 9:56. I usually wait till after this 9:30 garbage because you never know what's going to happen in here. But here at 9:56, you have a high right here, and it's going to pull back to right here. And this went really well. You started here and you finished right here. So this was a pretty good move down, 48.06 down to 74. So you had about a 30-point move down off of from this point right here to this point right here. Now I use the black line as the trigger mechanism that will really set everything off. But if I just want to get general direction, anything past this 1 minute chart, then I really start looking at the blue and the green line. So when I do that, I go ahead and go back to indicator. I come down to this value right here, and I change this from black to transparent, and I hit apply. It does take a few seconds to get it loaded. Click OK. Now the black line's gone. Okay, so right now sometimes I'll switch to a say a 30-minute chart. Let this load up here, and I'll show you how I use the green and the blue a little bit more, looking at a longer term, like what's going to happen through the day, through the week. Even if I switch it to 60 minutes, it even shows more than that. I'll go ahead and stretch this out a little. But right now I'm using two different energies here. This green and the blue both are going to play into this thing. Right down in here you had both of them making a bottom. So if you start from this point right here, everything should go up, especially to right here, because we hit this blue high here. The green's making a high up in here. So if I was using this on a 30-minute chart, I would be looking for this to this. And if you look at that from the perspective of the price itself, it would have been something like that. So this was actually a pretty good move. 40-point move up here within this day. Now I'm looking here. I've got one on the bottom, I got one on the top, so they're kind of being different from each other. And so you could find the bottom, or you could find the top here. Right now it looks like it's found its bottom, and it's going to be making its way up here over the next day or two, clear up to right here. So as of right here, I would look right here, since this did make a bottom. I would look for this move right here, and then in the price I would be looking for something like this. Now that's just a temporary line I look at when I draw this thing out and I'm starting to trade with it. This is what I look at. It looks like the green line's getting followed here. Now you have to watch for places like this, where this blue line is making its big spikes, especially right here at 11 o'clock. You got to watch for that and see how that's going to play out. And then from that you can gauge from this green and blue line exactly where your direction's going to be going. For the most part, this is pretty accurate. It definitely gives a heads up where the energy's going. So I'm going to call it quits for this video.